Kyle here with Blooming Earth Studios. We're back for part 2 of the modeling of the ode. I wasn't able to finish it all in one sitting. I got a little tired last night, so I'm going to continue right where we left off. So we're going to go ahead and select our object. And if we look, we can see that there's the neck board here that we have not quite gotten to yet. So I'm going to come here and go ahead and line up our neck board, the vertices. And it looks like we actually need to add a few more subdivisions before we can really get that going. So, thinking that looks about right. We want to make sure that we have every vertex in the right position, and it looks like for the most part we've just about got it. So now that we've gotten that, I'm going to go ahead and select all of the faces that make up this headboard. And I'm going to extrude it out only just so much. Don't want it to be pulled out that much. I just want it to mainly be risen off of the face of the ode. But I have to go a little more. That's looking pretty good. Now, because we want this to have hard edges, I'm going to go ahead and insert an edge loop right near the bottom. As you can see, that creates that nice little ledge all the way around. And we're going to go ahead and do it also at the top. And now when we smooth preview, you can see that we've got a pretty hard edge, but I actually seen a few other things I want to add, so I'm going to sharpen the edge out here as well. I'm going to do that on the other side. Now on smooth preview, we've got a much harder edge. It's exactly what we want. And of course, we've just added some more subdivision, so we need to double check and make sure that everything lines up. Because now this is throwing off our nice circular shape that we were working on. Now, we were messing with this earlier, but it's not looking quite smooth here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to select all of these, that one's just bad. I'm gonna go ahead and try to select all of these vertices and then go ahead and fix them real quick. We don't like how this is inside the model. Okay, that's a little bit better. But as we can see, this dip here is not following our reference. So I'm gonna go ahead and really try and fix all of these vertices here. I'm just gonna bring them out to the edge. So those are starting, the outside edge is starting to look a little bit better. Of course, now we're not looking so good in some of these other ones. So I'm going to just go ahead and try and double check all of these at the moment and get them lined up. No, I'm actually just going to leave that little dip in there. I'm going to try and make it look nice on the other side as well. So bear with me while I fix this. Just going to take 1 second. And I'm back. Just continuing to smooth out the front face of the ode. Unfortunately, this can take a little bit of time, but it's better to spend that time now while there's still relatively few vertices than it is later when you think you should be done and you gotta go back and fix everything. That's just never any fun. Alright, and I'm pretty happy with that, how this is looking now. It's not quite perfect. I'll move that back a little bit. But this should be perfectly fine for our purposes right now. And we've got our neck board pulled out. So why don't we go ahead and try and give this back just a little curve to it. So insert another edge loop tool here, and try and get that right down the center. So I'm going to go to slide edge tool. Let's adjust that to be as perfectly centered as we can. And I'm going to go ahead and select from there, there, and I'm just going to pull this out ever so slightly. Actually, I'm going to undo that, so I want to select these as well. And now I'm going to pull these out just a little bit, and that's going to give us that nice little curve that we want to see. Okay, so we've now got essentially this is our finished body. Don't need to do anything more with the exception of finesse, which we can always do later on. It's pretty straightforward. It's what I've been doing, but I don't want to waste any more time. I'm sure you don't want to watch me tweaking individual vertices, so we're going to go ahead and start on some of the other parts. We've got the fret guard right here, or rather it's not the fret guard, string guard, picking guard, I believe. So let's go ahead and create that. So we're going to come up here to create polygon primitives, and we're going to create another cube. And let's just start off by trying to match that. And just going to bring it forward just a little bit. No, let's bring it all the way forward. Try to get that to match up to the proper angle. yeah, it's looking pretty decent for now. And actually, let's go ahead to this object right now. I'm going to click that. And now I'm going to Control H, and that's going to hide it. As you can see now in the outliner, which I'm actually going to go ahead and name this as Ode Body. You can now see that it's not highlighted, so we have it hidden. I'm going to go ahead and name this our pick guard. That's what we're going to be working on right now. So I'm going to come up here, going to adjust it to just the right spots here. Let's go ahead and insert a few edge loops. Let's go ahead and select the faces on each side. I'm going to extrude them out. Now we can once again, whoa, let's not do that. Orthographic. Want this to be the side view. I do not like the view cube, so we're gonna try and mess around. There we go, and we're back, the right view. Once again, we're going to just adjust our vertices to match up with the reference that we're using. I'm going to insert an edge loop tool just because I'm seeing that we're going to pull out here. I want each of these to be a little bit different. I'm going to extrude those again. And continue editing the vertices. Now, as you can see here, we've got the shape starting to come along, but it's got these little nodes, these decorative little nodes. Let's go ahead and get ready to create those. I'm going to select the faces, and we're going to extrude them, we're going to pull them up, and it's looking pretty good on the outside, so we're going to go ahead and going to adjust the vertices as we've been doing. I'm going to go ahead and do this to all of our edges now. Now we want to come back and make sure we adjust our vertices. Now I say I actually selected the wrong face over here. That's okay. Sometimes you'll make mistakes like that. So we're going to go ahead and just delete these faces. Press the back key. And we've still got this open face. So we're going to shift select those two, and then we are going to use the bridge tool. Coming back to our vertex, make sure we select everything there, press merge to make sure they're all good, and so we've got that fixed, and we'll continue on what we were doing. So this is looking pretty good. I just want to add a few more edge loops now, just to kind of round out some of these features. So I'm going to strategically place them. We'll then come back in a minute and place everything where I want them to be. Okay, so now that's looking pretty good. But if we look here, it's not quite perfectly flat. So, and what we're going to go ahead and select everything, and using the technique that we actually, let's go ahead and yeah, let's go use our scale tool. I'll bring this up to 90. What I want to do is I want to select all of the faces here. on just this one side, and then we'll repeat what we're about to do on the other side. We're going to take the scale tool and we're going to scale it perfectly flat to itself. Check this to be exactly 90-degree angle. And now we're going to go ahead and do this to this side as well. Now we've got that selected. Let's go ahead and bring that all together. Try and get that to match at 90 degrees as well. Then we'll bring this to our desired thickness. And now the entire object is flat, as we had initially wanted it. Let's go ahead and modify this to center the pivot so we're not too weird looking there. And I'm going to match it up against the body. And now we can come back to our outliner. We're going to press Shift H on the ode body, and we can now see how they lie on top of each other. And I think I'm going to bring this out just I'm actually going to try and I don't like how that's looking, so I'm going to freeze transformations. Now I'm pretty happy with how that's looking. And now we've got this part here, which is going to be the bridge. So we'll go ahead and create another polygon. Can drag that across here, and pull that up a little bit. Let's bring that forward. And I'm going to go ahead and hide the body again, just so I can more easily work on this particular piece. And I'm going to slide that down. It's a little bit hard to see on this image. It doesn't really stand out that well. But I do know what it's supposed to look like, essentially. And so I'm going to extrude that out as well. To make that much thinner. And I don't like how that looks smooth, so we're going to go ahead and add just a few edge loops. just here and there. Okay, go ahead. Use the scale tool to straighten up those lines. Come back to vertex. And come back over here. Oh, that's straight. And just going to continue following the little curves that this object has. So now we've got that nice little shape going. I'm going to bring a couple of these in just because I can see aesthetically they don't look quite good that way. Now I'm liking how this is starting to look. So I want to go ahead and make sure that this has a few hard edges. So I'm going to bring this down right here, as well as bring this over here. So now, and you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and add a little edge loop to each hard edge that I want to maintain. When we smooth that, we've now got a pretty nice looking bridge. Though actually, still want to maintain this edge a little bit better. It can be a little curved, so I'm going to pull that out just a little bit. But as you can see now, we've got a nice, much harder edge to work with. So I'm going to come over here and Control H to make the body show again. And now I'm going to bring this back in over here, angle it. Okay, go ahead and name this bridge. So that's looking pretty good. So now let's go ahead and make tuning pegs up here, and I believe there are 11 of them here, but we'll get to them as we make them. So these are pretty simple to make, so we'll go ahead and start off with a polygon primitive, and we're going to go ahead and make a cylinder this time. And actually, let's go ahead and click the option box on our cylinder this time, just to see what it is that we're working with. Because we don't want 20 axis divisions. That's nice sometimes, but too much right now. We want, let's just go ahead and leave it at 6 next hexagon. Do not leave it on round cap. And let's go ahead and try and create approximate size that we want. Okay, get rid of 12 there. It's a little big, so I'm going to scale that down. I'm going to scale that pretty wide. So I'll go all the way into it. And I will be right back. Okay. And I'm back. So now we've got the main part of our tuning peg created. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to select these faces here. And we're going to go ahead and extrude them. Then we're going to extrude it one more time. And then we're going to flatten that out so we get a nice tapered look. And then again, go ahead and extrude that again. We're going to extrude one more time. This time we're going to scale it up, or rather scale it down on the edge. Insert one more edge loop, and we're going to scale this one up. And in a moment we'll scale it up as well, but we're going to insert one more edge loop. Actually, we're going to insert a few. Cut that down. Cut. Make that a little wider. And then we're going to come back to this and try and give it a nice tapered design feel to it. And if you look, it looks like there's an indentation on the inside, which we can easily do. We're going to do that by coming here. We're going to extrude these two faces, but instead of pulling them, we're going to, this time, scale them down. We're going to pull them in. We're going to do that on this side as well. Scaling them down. And then I'm going to take a closer look here so we can try and match the sizes. And we're going to pull them in. I'll be right back. And I'm back. So we can now see here that this does not quite line up with how we're looking. This tuning peg is much smaller than we were initially wanting. So scale that down just a little bit. And now I'm going to go ahead and pull on the vertices, get them in the proper positions that I'm wanting them to be in. So I want one more edge loop here. So I can more round out the shape. And as you can see, this did not wrap around the whole way, and that is because of these triangles here. But for this particular shape, it's okay. But we're gonna fix that by coming up to our interactive split tool. We're gonna select the point there, and then we're gonna select. It's gonna snap to each point. So once we've got that selected, we're going to press enter, and now we've got this newly created shape here. And now we're going to be able to maintain our quads only rule, selecting these four. We're going to delete them. And actually, I'm sorry, that does not actually help us. Alright, so we're going to select these, we're going to delete that. So now we've got quad here. We've still got triangles here. So actually what we're going to want to do is we're going to delete those. We're going to come to our vertices, sorry. We're just going to pull them out just ever so slightly. Now we're going to scale these in just a little bit more. So now we've got ourselves our nice quads on the end. I'm going to go ahead and pull that point out just ever so slightly, pushing these two back in. So now we've got ourselves a nice little tuning peg. Of course I still need to adjust these here. So we want to make sure that we get all of these lined up, feeling pretty symmetrical, and that's pretty good for right now. I'm liking how that's going. I'm gonna go ahead and smooth preview. Yeah, that looks pretty good for what we want. Now let's go ahead and come over here to insert. Let's pull this out. Let's insert edge right along the edge here, so we'll maintain its shape. Now we're gonna go ahead and bring this object back into place, and let's look at our outliner. We're gonna call this tuning peg 1, because we're now going to duplicate this, which you can come up and do by going to Edit, and there are 3 different types of duplicates. Duplicate is just, it will make a copy of it. Duplicate with special will allow you to modify how you do the duplication, whether you flip it over axis or scale it as you're duplicating it. And duplicating with transform will allow you to duplicate something but move it at the same time, so you can keep something in the uniform. It just saves you a lot of time, but for right now we're just going to duplicate that. And let's go ahead and move this up to here. We're going to go ahead and do Command D. We're going to continue to follow the pegs up. Got one more. I'm not exactly sure how it happened, but somehow we're looking at these 2 different views on the side, but it doesn't matter, we'll just mirror image these. So now that we've got this, we're going to go ahead and come up here and let's go to duplicate special, and we're going to want to translate this. Actually, we don't want to translate it. We want to scale this by -1 on the x-axis, and we're going to do that. And now, as you can see, it's been scaled to be exactly opposite. So we're going to bring that down to this peg, and connect that there. And we're going to now match up all these pegs as we come down. Now we're going to want to come in here and just make sure that they all completely go through. And we don't need to worry too much about creating holes for them to go through, because for the most part we can take care of that. Texturing, make sure it looks nice, and it's just a pain to actually really try and get it to look right then. So we're going to actually pull them just out. So I want it to look like the pegs have actually gone all the way through, as they would on the actual instrument. And if we've named everything correctly, we should see that it's now numbered itself quite nicely as we go down. And just to make it a little more interesting, not so uniform, I'm going to just rotate a few of these pegs around just to give them a more natural look. And that's looking pretty good now. So we're going to come over here and we're going to select all of our tuning pegs. We're going to press Command G, which is going to group them all together so it'll be easier to select, and also just keep our outliner looking a little bit better. We're going to rename this to tuning pegs. So now when we select it, we'll select all of them, which is what we want. But yeah. So that's looking pretty good there. Why don't we go ahead and save? I'm gonna go ahead and save it. It's the next iteration. And at this point, we're looking pretty good, and we're let's go ahead and view our Polycount. Just see where we're at. And go to display, heads up display, Polycount, and so we can see we've got about 2,400 faces, which is pretty good. We're not too high right now. So we want to come up here. We're gonna go to edit. And we're gonna go ahead and delete history on all of our objects here. Okay, now with all of our history deleted, we will not be at risk of any data corruption occurring on our object. Now, I'm going to go ahead and why don't we go ahead and look at the holes that we've created here. Turn this off for the moment. Now I want to get off a few of these heads up display. I don't want the Polycount anymore. I don't want the view cube. So we're making this a hole. Obviously the design on here is very intricate, and I don't feel like going over that right now. It's very complicated, so we're going to simplify it. A simple way you can do it is by simply creating a plane that would fit in there, and then creating a texture that would imitate that design. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and create my own version of that design. So let's come back over here, and I'm going to go ahead and hide the body again. And I see this is a 5-sided star, so we're going to go ahead and create a polygon. And if we're going to create a cylinder, I'm going to give it 5 sides. So that will try and match up. I'm not too worried about its thickness right now or its angle. I'm just trying to get basic design, which I'll fix later with the angle. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to select the outside edges. I'm going to extrude them out just a little bit so we get this little design here. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to delete these inner faces. And I'm going to go ahead and now bridge all of these inner faces together. And I'm gonna go ahead now and let's go to our edge loop tool. I'm gonna use the multiple edge loops too, because I want to get them all evenly spaced here. And I want to connect this. Well, actually, we're gonna just extrude all these faces inward. Extrude it one more time. Bring them to where got this. And I'm going to select these two faces. We're going to bridge those faces. So we can also use the bridge tool to bridge faces. I do want to check, make sure that, yes, okay, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Whoa, let's zoom back in there. Now we've got a nice little ring here, and we are still sticking with our quads. So now that we've got this going on, got the next part of our design to go with, and I think I'm just gonna select these outer edges. I'm going to select it. I'm going to go to my extrude option box, and yeah, that's fine. I'm going to extrude everything out. But I forgot to select this face. I'm going to extrude everything out. But I don't want to taper. At all. Well, actually that's fine. Actually, I'll probably go ahead and extrude a different part. Extrude right here. I'm going to pull this all out. I'm going to extrude one more time. And now I want to once again bridge these faces. So we got a nice little ring going there. I want to come back to Insert Edge Loop tool, which is still on the multi-tool. And I'm just going to bring these out. I just want to kind of round them out. And let's just create a couple cool little designs here. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert the edge loop here. And with that selected, we're gonna go ahead and then select the face, inner face of each of these little sections that we just created. We're going to extrude them, we're going to pull them in a little bit, extrude them again, and now I want to bridge all these faces again. So we've got a pretty cool looking little design going right now. I'm going to go ahead and insert edge loop tool again. And I'm going to pull those back to add that little curve. Now if I press G, I can reset the last tool I used, which is what I'm doing right now, so I don't have to keep going selecting the tool in the sidebar. Just wanting to round out the shape a little bit. And if we smooth through, we can already see that we've got a nice little design going here. Looks rather decorative. Go ahead and try and do a similar idea here. Point out all of a lot of different shapes here. And you can really go about this however you want. I'm just kind of winging it right now. Extrude all these out. Extrude them again. Actually, I want to pull these out a little further. Then I'm going to extrude these again. And now I'm going to once again come back and bridge all these faces together. I'm just going to be pressing G That's looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and insert edge loop into each one of these new spots I just created. And I'm going to go ahead and select all these inner faces, because I'm going to want to extrude them again. Extrude these one more time. And I really like how this is starting to come along. It looks quite nice. In fact, I may just leave that as is, this design. So, because I like how this is smoothing out, I'm going to go ahead and just come up to Mesh and press Smooth. And as you can see, this, I apologize, I'm going to come up to Object, select this object, Mesh, Smooth, and now you can see it's created a lot more. It's added essentially a edge loop at the average between all of my other ones. So we've got a nice little disc here. I'm going to scale it up just a bit. So fit. And I'm going to duplicate this twice, so I can get it to come down here. So I'm going to use this again. For the other two holes. And now I can I'm going to come over to the outliner. I'm gonna bring this out again so we can see it with Shift H. And let's select our sound hole 1. We're gonna go ahead and bring that forward here. We're gonna just angle it so that it's just inside that hole. That needs to be scaled up just ever so slightly. But yeah, that's looking pretty good. We're gonna need to fix this little area here, but we'll get to that momentarily. We're gonna fix that. Then this will be our sound hole 2, sound hole 3. We're gonna bring both of these forward. Angle them back. Got those inset now pretty well. And, that's looking pretty good. I like how that's looking. So we can go ahead and just double check how our object's looking right now. I'd say it's looking pretty good. In fact, all we have left really to do are these strings. So let's go ahead and save. And let's go ahead and take care of our body real quick. Fix up these last few little things. We want to bring this out so that we can connect these two here. Bring this up. I'm just going to make it so that it fits right around our little disc that we just created. So now we've got disc seated firmly inside the hole. That's looking pretty good. We're going to go ahead and do that to these bottom ones as well. Let's go ahead and select the object. See how it looks when we do a smooth preview. So we're not quite looking just right yet. So I'm going to select some of these. Just try to pull them while it's in the smooth preview. Normally you don't want to do this, but I'm just trying to, because I'm getting ready to smooth this. And we don't want to adjust anything that we don't have to once we do that. So, yeah, it's looking pretty good. All the way up into here. But we're going to actually want to add a few edge loops to maintain our, we want to make sure we go back to just our relative distance. And I want some hard edges up here, so I'm going to add the edges I need up there to give that nice hard interior edge, as well as right there and right here. So we're looking pretty good now. Let's see how that looks. Smooth. Feeling pretty good with that. And yeah, I'm liking how this is looking. So go ahead and select the object. And let's go ahead and just save real quick just before we do this. And we're gonna now go mesh smooth. As you can see, we got a lot more polygons now. We can go ahead and smooth this one as well, and this. So now we've got a relatively high poly object. It's a little bumpy here and there on the face, but that's actually okay for now. You can always go back and smooth it out later if you want, but I don't feel like taking the time at the moment to do that. Do that little finesse. So we're going to go ahead and now work on the strings. And I believe we've got 11 strings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we've got 12. So we're going to end up making 12 strings. We're going to go ahead and do this by going to create polygon primitive and come over to cylinder, and I want to make this be 8 divisions. I'm going to come up on top to make that, and I'm going to pull that up. And this is way too thick right now. I'm just trying to get the height adjusted properly for now. And we're going to shrink that until it's how thin we'd like it to be. So that looks like it's plenty thin. And we're going to just extend that out. We want to make sure this will go through the bridge, so we can see here. Bring that just out just a little bit. And we are now going to grab the vertices up here and bring them all the way up. When we have this selected, we're going to go ahead and so we're going to, let's name this first as string 1. We're going to duplicate it. We're going to make 11 or 12 of these. Now I've got all 12, let's go ahead and center them. And obviously it does not look this way at the top, so let's go ahead and grab our vertices. I'm going to bring on all of our objects. now I'm going to bring them back to, hold on. Fortunately, I just messed up a little bit there. We need to bring out one last string. Now we're gonna all these strings, we're gonna center them again. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do what we had just done. Shift select all of these. Now we're going to move them back. We're going to scale them all together. Have them touching like that. So we've got all of our strings now, stretching from the bottom up. But of course now they're interfering down here. We don't want that. So we're going to insert an edge loop tool to each one of these right about here. Then we're going to select that edge. We're going to pull it out just a little bit, which should lift the string off of the rest of the body. So now we're looking pretty good with the strings. Does not hit the body anywhere. It's all lifted off, just the way it should be. And I think I'm going to call it an end to this tutorial right here. In the next tutorial I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make these strings wrap around the tuning pegs, and then that should be it for the modeling aspect of this. And I'll go over UVing and texturing this in another tutorial as well. So hope this has been helpful. Please subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you have any comments or suggestions. Please subscribe. and thank you.